Alright then, hello guys. Today we're going to be doing another PicoCTF challenge, and the challenge we're going to be doing today is going to be called format-string-2. So what this challenge is, this program is not impressed by cheap parlor tricks like reading arbitrary data off the stack. To impress the program here, we must change the data on the stack. You could download the binary and download the source here. Additional details will be available after launching your challenge instances, and we get one hint. Poem tools are very useful for this problem. So in this case, with format string, it doesn't want us to read arbitrary data off the stack. It wants us to change data on the stack. So what do they mean by that? So if we type cat bone c, which I already download, is that we see that sus is initially initialized with this data right here. But if you check right here, you don't have what it takes, blah, blah, blah. It gets our input printed out. But it wants us to be able to change sus into the value of this, but we never have a chance to do it. So that's what's asking us to do. It's asking us to change the arbitrary value of sus. And one of the hints it tells us is that Poem tools is very useful for this problem, and it is. So right here, Poem tools has a special library called format string bug exploitation. Provides tools for exploiting format string bugs. So here they found a way to automate processes like this, where you're able to send data and have data right here being sent to this address. So changing the data of this specific address, and just by finding out the offset. So what this is doing is the same process that reads a string and gives the string as first argument and calls printf, and then it does indefinitely, creates a fm string and gives it the function write this data to ox0 and then write ox as this. So it's basically giving us a way to automate this process, and what we're gonna do is basically automate our process of writing the data, we're gonna find a way to automate of sending this data to this function, because sus is initialized initially as this. So how do we do this? So for this challenge, we want to be able to find where this data is located. So how we will approach this is first doing GDB vol. And what we want to be able to do is be able to locate where is what. So we see sus is located at this memory address 44460, but we want to be able to write this data into right here 4460. So we're gonna be writing this data, because at the end it's comparing it. We're gonna be writing this data to right here, so we just keep that in mind. So how are we gonna do this problem? So first we want to be able to write a Python script for this. So we'll do nano solve.py. So in this, we're going to do from pwn import all. And then we could basically just copy whatever we have right here, which is all of this right here if we want to. But let's start off with a little bit right here. So if we first want to be able to connect to this right here, and that cap, which is pretty easy in Poem tools. So Poem tools, all you need to do is just do p equals remote, and then p connect. It's been a while since I've done something like this, so I'll just delete this, and then p.connect. And I think that's good enough. So now we have that. Now we want to be able to automate the process to find the payload. So automate auto fmt equals fmt, go back right here, fmt this right here, and then what we have right here, exfmt. So that's pretty sure the name of the file, I'm assuming. exfmt. EXFMT. And what is EXFMT on this one? EXFMT is basically this. Copy. And just send them a payload. I'm pretty sure it's going to be process equals remote. Receive all. And I think payload is just a random payload that it generates. So what we want to be able to do next is basically I guess let's do this too. Context.binary is basically a way of setting up our program to match the specifications, the specific assembly instructions to use. So we'll do .vol C or vol. I'm assuming. Now that we have that, and let's just put it here in case it's asking us where it's located. Now we want to be able to find the offset. Offset looking for where to do this problem. So auto fmt the offset. Then we're gonna do payload is gonna equal to payload is gonna be this. But FM payload, the offset, that's gonna be what we already have over here where it finds automatically, and the addresses is basically what we should have noted down. So we're just gonna control S like that. That's basically this one. So we want to overwrite this value with this. So this comes first. Nano. So the address is this. This is where it's located, but we want to write it a specific value, which is this one right here. Sus, which is sus. Yeah. This one. We want to be able to give it this value instead. So now we have that up and ready. Now if we do p.send line and we send it a payload, process payload, and then we're gonna do flag.p receive all. We're gonna get everything call back to us, and then we're gonna do print flag. So now we're gonna do Python 3 solve.py. FMT is not defined. FMT str. FMT str. So let's try that. Let's see, P receive all flag. Oh wait. P equals flag. I don't know if we do this. P dot receive all. Now if we try this, so this is basically the automation that's going on in the background, and at the end we get this, the flag PicoCTF. So basically what it does initially is that we set up FMT string, which is helping us with the formatting string vulnerability, and then it's using this automation to find the offset. That's why you're seeing a bunch of this. It's trying to find the offset. And now what it's trying to do next is once it finds the offset, it sends the payload and it changes the value to what we want it to. It changes this value to this one. And then after it sends the payload, then we receive the flag. That's basically what's happening on the short end of things. So now if we Control X, and if we copy this PicoCTF, it makes it easier for, like, I guess, automation. So we won't have to like waste time like trying to figure out like how we did last time in the other format string vulnerabilities when we're doing -p -p. This is making it easier, and also as part of the hints that PicoCTF tells us. Pwn tools is very useful for this problem. So now if we submit this, we solve this challenge. So yeah, pretty much it. Pretty easy challenge. But anyway, hope you guys learned something new today. I know I did, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.